茶庄蜂蜜柚子茶，欢迎各位来天虹茶庄独家冠名播出的2014英雄联盟职业联赛夏季赛的直播现场。电脑优乐酒就选技嘉超难酒罗局机器类绝胜科技，网用它一起来更精彩，全网最低价就在 TG3C.PL.CN。本联赛是由技嘉罗技网用它 TG3C 数码商城联合赞助播出。雷霆之威颠覆战局，感谢雷神笔记本电脑对本次联赛的大力支持。大家好，我是宝宝。 今天呢，也是我们第6周的比赛赛程了。上周战罢呢，可以说拉锯战也是全面完结了。LPL 夏季赛第1回合较量结束，8支战队在你来我往对抗当中呢，也是交出了各自的答卷。第1轮战罢 ，OMG 战队以4胜3平积15分的成绩继续领跑榜单，而 EDG 呢与 WE 同得3胜4平积13分，紧随其后。 榜单前3名的战队依旧是保持不败的战绩，当然也希望后面的所有战队能够后来居上，继续加油了。今天我看到的现场也是茫茫多的粉丝啊，虽然说天气非常炎热，大家都是顶着非常酷热的天气，依旧来到现场支持自己的队伍，对不对？大家可以不可以喊出自己支持的这个队伍的名字？好像还是 OMG 最多哎，当然也是。 各位非常辛苦了，今天非常炎热，当然也希望各位能够在现场看得开心了。接下来一起来关注一下今天的赛程版。首先16点到18点 ，WE 对阵 WEA。那么19点到21点是由 OMG。
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to tonight's English coverage of the League of Legends Pro League. It's the LPL. Here in English on Twitch TV. And of course, it's brought to you by our friends at Gosu Gamers and Games in Asia. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Rapid. I'm here with Nero. We'll be covering these games for you guys tonight. And there should actually be some pretty hype matches. The first one is going to be a best of 2 as a battle of the World Elite organizations. The World Elite take on World Elite Academy. And after that, we'll be seeing 2 of the top teams and arguably the top 2 teams, maybe with the World Elite thrown in there, as OMG face off against Edward Gaming in our second best of 2 of the night.
Yeah, so the matches are really gonna be interesting right here. World Elite Academy, they actually might try to do something. They had better chances of winning this best of 2 in the first week of the LPL, but right now they are still looking for some points, and actually both Young Glory and World Elite Academy started doing something in the split finally. And well, for the other one, EDG versus OMG, this is just so good. The record at the moment is 6-6, but these are some best of 3s out of LPL, and pretty much the latest record is so good for EDG that they are probably the ones who are gonna take it, but the matches are still gonna be exciting to watch.
Exactly, and in case you guys are doubting us about how exciting these games can be, well, you're going to see some top 10 plays up there on your screen right now, and it'll give you a little bit of an idea on exactly how incredible most of these games are. This is going to be Starhorn versus... I think that was EDG up there on your screen, but now it's LGD versus EDG. You can see Name going in for the outplay on XQ. This is something that will routinely happen, the idea of the 80 carry flashing behind the turret. If you guys are new to LPL, well, be seeing that one a lot. So teams tonight, it'll be World Elite facing off against World Elite Academy in kind of a battle between the top and the bottoms of the standing, as World Elite has come back to almost their best form ever this season, or this split of the LPL. They'll be taking on their Academy team, who has had a little bit of a rough start.
Yeah, so right now, actually, World Elite Academy, they have picked up Mickey God, so it may be a little bit of a weak point in their lineup. On the other hand, we have 2 Koreans that have actually already accommodated to the World Elite's lineup, Ninja and Axie. So these are the lanes to look forward to. However, in the top lane, we might see a big clash of the top laners right there. Xiaomei facing Khan. Both top laners are playing the carry style tops, so this is a thing that we don't actually usually see in the LPL, and
yeah,
definitely will.
Now, there's a couple of other things that we don't usually see in the LPL that we should definitely look out for here in this first game. Number one, you're going to maybe see some role swaps out of World Elite Academy. Mickey God started out, I think he was jungle, and then he moved to the mid lane. So you should see Xie in a slightly different role, as he is the jungler that they used last time World Elite Academy played. So we'll see how that works out. if they decide to switch things back up, because it actually did work out. World League Academy wound up splitting 1-1 last time they played with him in the mid lane. So expecting to see Mickey God mid, and what he brings to the mid lane is, I guess, a relatively different champion pool. She is a big fan of that Annie. Not a big fan of that Annie anymore, so well, maybe he is. I'm definitely not, but we'll see what Mickey God brings there. But of course he's going up against World Elite, and World Elite are just some of the, what I want to say, the best team in LPL, even though the standings don't reflect it. OMG's up at the top and they deserve it, but I'm a big World Elite fan, so we'll see how they can do here tonight.
Alright, so we will be getting into the games shortly after the top 10 plays. Also, another thing to highlight, pretty much every single lane can be highlighted right here in this matchup, because we have AD carries facing off each other. SMLZ versus Wei Xiao, and Wei Xiao actually chose SMLZ to carry on his AD carry legacy, because Wei Xiao was a legend a while ago. Right now he's coming back to his top form, and well, SMLZ is the chosen one to go on and be as strong as Wei Xiao. So we'll see if he can't really beat him.
Yeah, and I love the rage on there when Wei Xiao gets outplayed. That was fairly accurate. So he's like, hey man, time to carry, buys, you can see it there, the #1 play, a sword via cult. And from there on out, it was just all up, or downhill. Easy game, easy life for Wei Xiao as he just crushed absolutely everyone. Stacks it up there, gets that huge team fight all the way through the enemy team, and I think you guys know what's about to happen here. Just carry after carry. Wei Zhao's a little bit late to the fight, but that's just so he can come in and clean up. And so Swords of the Occult, there's something that you'll actually see a lot in LPL. Most likely on the junglers. If a jungler gets like, 3 or 4 kills before the 10-minute mark, you'll actually see junglers pick up Sword of the Occult. So nice to see the snowball still pretty alive and well here in the Chinese League of Legends scene.
So he will get this Penta in the end. It was such a great play, and it's a Corki. And yeah, this Corki just coming back into play, looking so strong. A lot of new AD carries actually are coming into the LPL, especially with Name picking up this Jinx lately.
Yeah, Name has picked up Jinx, and to be honest, with Wei Zhao sort of representing the Corki component of the AD carry lineup here in LPL, I think it's just really, really cool to see a lot of diversity, especially in the jungle. Rengar, Lee Sin, they're still the top tier. Might see some Evelynn out there, although that's much less common than Rengar, Lee Sin. Probably some Elise out there just because she is so dominant. But the big pick is something that Ninja's showing off right there in the mid lane. The Xerath, it's coming back. It was really, really big. Faker played it. Of course, guys like Overpow have been representing the Xerath play for a very long time in LCS. So we'll have to see if it makes a comeback. Xerath is a champion. Ziggs, they're both very, very high up there on the champion list, but something tells me that with Mickey God in the mid lane for World Elite Academy should be pretty amazing. So we're going to go ahead and hop into this intro. We'll be right back with our first best of 2 of the night. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the English coverage of the LPL here live on Twitch TV. Brought to you in part by our friends at Games in Asia and Gosu Gamers. I'm Rapid, with me is Nero, and there you can see it, the standings right in front of you, Wei Zhao at the very top. And that's something I was skeptical that I'd ever see him back up there, just because he had such a big slump after his sort of Season 2, Season 3 high point. Season 3 was not a very high point for World Elite, as they had a bunch of roster issues, but as much as Wei Zhao thought about retiring during that point, he stuck around, and he is right back on top of the standings #1 in the KDA.
All right, but it's Wei Xiao. It's understandable, but actually I'm looking at it and we have IG Kid at the second place right there. Actually, the whole top 3 is just 80 carries. We have Wei Xiao, Kid, and UZI, and that is something really weird to see. Because IG now sitting at 6th place and they're still getting so much of these MVP points.
Well, exactly. And IG have always been a team that are just like, at any moment, they can take out any team in LPL. The problem is that they're somewhat inconsistent with how they do that, so that's where their scores have gone. But we're going to hop into our featured matchups. You can see the team rankings right there. OMG right up there at the top. World Elite in 3rd place. And I think 3rd place is a pretty good place for World Elite to be. It's very accurate the way the standings are right now. But the big pushes I'm looking to see is LGD and IG to maybe make some big upsets and possibly even finish 3rd to 4th place. I know... who was it? It was Drexen who was talking about how much he wants to see LGD make an upset. I think it's possible, but standings the way they are looking very, very good. So we can see head-to-head right here, EDG and World Elite. The teams that both teams I would expect to make it to Worlds, but still have the rest of the split left to go. So we'll check this out. Of course, this is from their last showing. Ninjas, Xerath. He brought it out. Will he bring it out again?
We'll get to see. Right now, our Elite will be playing once again. So we are just waiting to get into the players' introduction and then into the picks and bans. That might be coming really shortly. And I'm so excited for this matchup because I really think that World Elite Academy can show us something surprising right here.
Yeah, World Elite Academy are the team that come into this matchup as the solid underdogs. And well, you can see our beautiful casters up there on the screen. Unfortunately, I do not look that good right now. That's why we get to show you their faces. So I'm also not. We're also not doing a tri-cast. That'd be pretty epic. But in the meantime, you guys get to put up with us, and hopefully you enjoy the show tonight. Like I was mentioning, World Elite Academy come into this matchup as solid underdogs. They are at the bottom of the standings, tying things up there with Young Glory. So it's a little bit rough day to be World Elite Academy, but if any team knows what it's like to play against World Elite, it's going to be their sister team.
Yeah, definitely. They have the contact with the same coach. They have a lot of contact with themselves, with one another. And actually, just as I said, Wei Xiao handpicked SMLZ to be his legacy. So we'll see. All of these guys know each other's playstyles so well.
All right, well, you can see it up there on your screen right now. The caster predictions, Joker Wawa, and I forget the female caster's name, but I will get the info on that as soon as possible. All 2-0 predictions in favor of World Elite. And honestly, it's hard to go against that. World Elite, top 3 team in LPL, and, well, World Elite Academy, bottom 3 team in LPL. So we're going to check out the stats as you can see them right there on your screen. World Elite Academy, they pick up big victories versus Young Glory, breaking that tie, or the winless tie at the bottom of the standings. And they actually went 1-1 in their split versus IG last week, so still capable of beating some of the better teams in LPL.
All right, so that's the thing. Right now, we do have World Elite Academy versus World Elite, but I believe that tomorrow it's going to be Young Glory versus Invictus Gaming, and that is going to be the match where Young Glory can really surprise. That might even end up with a 2-0 in their favor.
Yeah, I'm actually really looking forward to Young Glory. If you guys caught the Demacia Cup action from yesterday, from last week, you know that LGD actually wound up, spoiler alert, losing in a 2-1 series, so they are out of the Demacia Cup. So gotta say, teams like Young Glory coming straight out of the LSPL still have a lot of potential. Speaking of potential, let's check out these guys on your stream. It's Mickey God, a new Korean player here on World Elite Academy. I'm a big fan of this guy. Came out of Korean solo queue and just was a god there. Of course, maybe coming into the competitive scene, a little bit too big of a transition, as he has struggled to put up the same kind of numbers. But the rest of his team, you can see there on the screen, have not. SMLZ, still one of my favorite AD carries to watch. He's not super outstanding, but he is somewhat consistent for the team, where that team, I think World Elite Academy are kind of lacking that stat. So we'll see how SMLZ and UJ work out in the bottom lane, as they've actually put up some pretty decent numbers for the team, even though the team as a whole have not performed.
Yeah, definitely. They will be able to pull out the stats once again. That's a thing that I'm sure of. But the thing is, they have troubles closing out the game. And we have talked about it so many times already that World Elite Academy, they focus on the lane matchups and then maybe try to win in the mid game. But if they go to the late game, it really is a big problem for them.
Yep, and there you can see 71% win ratio for World Elite. These guys have earned every single one of those wins, and they definitely deserve to be up at the top of the standings. If IG were in second place right now, I'd be a little bit skeptical of exactly how they got there. But with World Elite, they have worked super hard to have such a rough season last split, and then come back into this one just looking stronger than ever. And you can see we're starting from the bottom lane. It's going to be Conan and Wei Zhao. There's the man himself on your screen. Big fans in the audience, and you can see the Kog'Maws on his screen. I can almost guarantee you it's Kog'Maw or Corki for him tonight. Lucian's still okay, but we're on the 410 patch, so 80 carries took a massive hit.
Yeah, definitely. And also, Kale got a little bit of a nerf, but they still played her in the previous week, so probably the same thing is coming once again. At least the Kale bans.
And a big mystery pick in the mid lane for Ninja is, what on earth does this guy play? He's played a lot of Jace, but it's been with very mixed success, and it's by far his least meta pick, along with the Xerath, although I think I'd like that a little bit more. So, gotta see what that guy's gonna play. But with Sin, he's also a little bit of a wild card, because he brought out the Skarner for World Elite, and I mean, I understand the point that Skarner is supposed to play, but still have yet to be convinced that champion has a spot in LPL.
Yeah, he has been played multiple times already, but we haven't seen like a perfect thing coming out from this Kana. He was a little bit failing, a little bit winning, but that's not the point. He needs to be the very strong jungler to be picked up. And also, yeah, that Jace pick plus Kana works quite fine, but it's not really impressive.
Well, we're about to hop into champion picks and bans. Hope you guys are ready for our first best of 2 of the night. It's going to be World Elite taking on their sister team, World Elite Academy. And I'm probably just going to call them WE and WE Academy because they are super awesome. I'm just going to try to make a... if World Elite win LPL, then we'll be able to sing We Are the Champions, because they will be. But we'll have to see who's the champion here tonight. They will be taking on their Academy team. 2-0 is the prediction. World Elite Academy is solidly the underdog, but when you have nothing to lose, you can play with whatever strategies you want, try out new things, and that can make things really, really scary. And if there's anybody, like I said earlier, that can take a game off of World Elite by some random surprise, it's going to be World Elite Academy. And here we go into champion picks and bans.
Yeah, and we see the Jace ban straight away. And actually talking about the standings and about the teams that are doing quite well, EDG are looking quite good in the standings. And if they win the LPL, then we can say that you is the champion.
You are the champion. Well, maybe. We'll have to see. EDG right up at the top and definitely possible. So let's talk about the bans a little bit, Nero. We got the Jace versus Ninja. No questions there. Kog'Maw going to be versus Wei Zhao. But why do you ban the Kale? I think that's mostly just to keep Wei Zhao from having that 3 seconds of invulnerability in team fights.
Yeah, pretty much that. And why do you pick Kale after all with the nerfs? Still, the ultimate is really, really strong. So the ban still earned. As I said before the picks and bans actually started, there will be the Kale bans. And we see Thresh is open right here. So that is a really strong support, but still, we do see the Lulu first pick.
Yeah, now Mickey God has previously played a lot of assassins mid lane, like Zed, Ahri. Going for the Lulu pick here, it's actually pretty standard. And keep in mind that is something that Khan can play top lane instead. So.
All right, wait a sec, but there is the Jax open and Irelia open, so Khan might actually get his hands on his Jax.
And honestly, his Irelia is almost scarier than his Jax. He's had monstrous performances with both of those champions. They don't necessarily translate into wins, but they are still there and still very, very strong picks for that top lane. That's why I expect to see Mickey God on that champion, but like I said, he does play a lot of assassins, so that could still be the route he's going.
Nah. After seeing the Leona, I have no hopes anymore. But yeah, Mickey got playing on an assassin mid laner, then Khan playing on his Jax, and then Lulu being the support. That would be really good.
Only problem is, oh, and they're going to switch over to a Gragas. I love that pick. That keeps Gragas away from Salme. That guy is not probably A, the most famous player of LPL, and B, the best Gragas player out there. I know, there's, I guess you could say there are a few other ones, like IG have a very good Gragas top lane. I've showcased that several times, but honestly, Salme is just a monster with that. So taking that away from him is a great pickup so early on from World Elite.
Yeah, definitely. But still, I'd love to see this Jax on Khan finally, because I didn't even get to see him as of yet. Well, on the other hand, there you go, Lucian.
Yeah, but you can see the Corki stats up there on their screen for a while. 33% win ratio. Not popular, but when he gets played, when he does well, he does very, very well. Something Wei Xiao showed us time and time again. Pentakill's pretty good sign that the champion's alright. So Sivir. Okay, why do you go Sivir here, Nero? I feel like when you go Sivir, it's because you expect the hard engage from things like maybe Vi or Nocturne or something that gets on top of you guaranteed. But don't see a whole lot of Sivir.
So it is this kind of an engage. We'll get to see what they have in mind with that pick. But it definitely will give a lot of mobility to this team, which they don't really have in the bottom lane. Leona can just transport the move actually through the Zenith Blade, which actually has to hit. So running away might be really hard in the bot. And on the other hand, we do have a lot of gap closers from World Elite Academy. Sorry, World Elite actually.
And World Elite Academy, one big thing that they have right now is just the hardest of hard engaged teams. If they get any kind of advantage, they'll be able to force that advantage very, very well. Just turn on the hunt and then just throw Leona and Jarvan right behind the turret. It'll be a great way to start things out. But like you said, World Elite Academy, or rather the main World Elite roster, have an incredible amount of mobility on them. But is it enough?
Yeah, that is the question that will be answered inside of the game. They do have this Jax, so actually Khan will be playing the Salme's champion and Salme will be playing Khan's champion, so we'll get to see who is the better one.
I'm definitely going to give the edge to Jax here, also to Salme. He's one of the best top laners in China right now. I think after PDD left, Salme really rose to the top of the standings there. So I'm really excited to see them play not only each other's champions, but just to play it all. They're going to be matching up in the top lane, of course, and the other matchup that you have to talk about is SMLZ versus Wei Xiao. And it's sort of like the monster versus the apprentice coming in here. Wei Xiao gonna have to fight the guy that he vouched for so heavily, so we'll see that matchup, of course, as well.
Alright, so Wei Xiao, when Hero came in to coach World Elite, he said that he will not listen to the coach until he beats him in a 1v1, so I guess that Wei Xiao will give no mercy to SMLZ right here. He will not accept him as his apprentice until SMLZ beats him.
All right, we'll see if SMLZ does beat him. We're going to head off to a quick commercial break, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with our first best of two series between World Elite Academy and their main organization, World Elite. And here we go out onto the Rift. It's World Elite. You can see them in the red. They'll be taking on their sister team, World Elite Academy. In the battle of the top versus the bottom of the standings here in the LPL. Of course, broadcast in English on Twitch TV, made possible in part by our friends at Gosu Gamers and Games in Asia. I'm Rapid, with me is Nero, and we're going to be hopping in to game number 1. Starting things off with a pretty standard split across the map, which is actually not very standard because you see solo laners up at the top lane. No 2v1 splits evident just yet.
Just yet, and that is the thing, because we have seen some late lane swaps coming out in the previous week.
A little bit of lag there. I saw Khan walk into the bush at the same time that Salme was there. I was like, all right, not sure what's happening up there, but it's like the Schrodinger's top lane tri-brush. It's like they're either in there or they're not in there, or they're both at the same time. we'll see. Mid lane shaping up to be Mickey God versus Ninja. No random swaps to other lanes for them. Mid lane's kind of the consistent lane. Not only does it have the most versatility as far as champions you can play it in, but you can also expect that you're guaranteed to see the other mid laner there. Not a whole lot of rotation there just yet.
We do have a post coming out right here. I actually just saw a referee talking to some player right there on the cameras, and they just paused.
Making sure that he was connected and everything. I think he's actually the one having the issues for World Elite Academy. But you can see them you can see World Elite on your screen right now, and trying to get the communication back down. These are both teams that have a mixed Chinese and Korean roster. And my understanding was that they actually communicate in English primarily. So that does limit some of their communication, but a lot of the Korean players are starting to learn Chinese, and I think in a couple of cases, I think Mickey God actually speaks relatively decent Chinese. So we'll see how their communication works out. I was most skeptical when you looked at teams like EDG. Saw how that was going to work out. Name has been making it look okay, but he was not up there in the top 2 or 3 of the standings for 80 carries, so maybe some communication issues out there. But right as I say that, Wei Xiao was, so we'll see if that bottom lane still looks pretty good.
Yep, so we'll get to see that, and I'm actually wondering what the problem is, because it was the referee talking to the player and not the player talking to the referee, so maybe it was some problem that the LPL guys knew right before the match started, but didn't actually get to figure it out. And maybe it was about this lag that we got to see.
Yeah, a lot of times it does happen to the spectator server only, so it's not necessarily something that affects the players in game. But I don't think there's anything too drastic happened already. Maybe just some early ward positioning. So it shouldn't be anything too terrible. And even if we have to go for like a remake or something like that, it's not like either team really gave away their big strategy. Just a little bit of a delay here before we start the game.
Yeah, and it's interesting how we always see the girls covering their faces, not wanted to be seen on the camera. But here we go, a lot of waving girls in the crowd.
Yeah, and that is a big culture difference between Korea and China. Korea, it's a lot of the kids that watch Korean like tournaments like OGN. A lot of them are actually skipping school to be there sometimes, or skipping like study sessions or other like actual responsibilities to be there. So they cover their faces in case people see them on TV. At least, and there's also somewhat of a degree of modesty there as well. But in China, everybody's pumped. They're happy to be out here. And to be honest, seeing an entire stadium full of League of Legends fans, like when League first came out, I was just like, hey, it'd be cool to like get together, have a little bit of a LAN event, have some friends around. But I never thought we'd see huge stadiums around the world filled with fans like these. That's one of the reasons LPL is so awesome, because where else in the world can you see every single time there's LPL going on, a huge stadium like this full of fans? So it's just really exciting. It gets me pumped, and you can see the coaches, the referees really working with World Elite Academy, trying to see what's going on there.
Yeah, and it might be even a bigger problem if these are the Korean players having the problems, because it was actually the referee started to talk to Sois, but then switched over to the top laner, Khan, who is Korean.
Now actually the referee is talking to Wei Xiao there on your screen, so still kind of...
There's a lot of things going on.
Trying to find out what the issues are. If I get any word on this, I will let you guys know, but... unfortunately, I don't think that's necessarily going to be possible. So in the meantime, we get to watch the fans wave their Thunder Sticks. If I had Thunder Sticks right now, I would totally be waving them. It'd be super fun. I could, I don't know. Sometimes you'll actually see, if it's things for like the grand finals, you actually see Thunder Sticks with the theme of the team on them. So we'll see if... because like if I had World Elite Thunder Sticks right now, I'd totally be like banging them together. It'd be super obnoxious because it'd probably sound really loud on the microphone. But it does look like the game's unpaused. Thank goodness. Everybody wants to see some League of Legends. So here we go.
Right, so both of the teams actually use the same colors. So who would you be rooting for?
Well, either way, I feel fairly confident if you're betting. I think World Elite's going to win, no matter which organization it is, the main or the academy team. But you're gonna see double jungles right out there, right across the board, and this is what I was expecting. The 2v1 lane swaps, you can almost guarantee this because AD carries are so centric. They're kind of the superstars of the show here in LPL. The only problem is that they have a lot of difficulties for the first 10-15 minutes of the game. So this guarantees that your AD carry gets solo farm, and it allows the supports an opportunity to roam for ganks.
Alright, so this Jarvan will be putting up a lot of pressure on the map early on. But then later on, Rengar with his ultimate might be a little bit more dangerous. So we'll get to see if there is some early pressure coming out from Soest. And that might actually also be a little bit of an advantage for World Elite Academy because they rely so much on the laning phase, on the early game.
Yeah, another big thing to notice, the Chinese commentators mentioned it, the big golem is there. The tiny golem didn't die, so it was left up, still having to clear that, but you can see them actually clearing it before they make it to lane. Leona's down there, and if you look top lane, you're going to see SMLZ stay there for the next 10 minutes almost. He is going to be up top lane to stay, get that free farm, and see how much he can do with it. Because honestly, I'm not a big believer of the Sivir pick. It works well if you're worried about getting caught out. But honestly, when World Elite Academy are the team engaging, still kind of confused as to why you pick the Sivir other than just for ultimate.
In the middle lane, we do have a little bit of a game.
Gonna go in. He misses it because of the bounce from Ninja. Ninja kind of outplaying Axion right there, bouncing him away from the Rengar net.
Alright, so talking about the Sivir, there is already Jax to try and counter her. Samuels, you will have a little bit of an advantage early on, but yeah, still Sivir pick not really doing too much in the early game. Then just left in the top to try and free farm, to try and be useful later on. That might be really interesting if we get to see what it has to offer. And the team fights, of course.
So we've already seen one gank around the bottom lane. One big difference you'll notice is that got Jarvan coming in. There is the standard knockup, but didn't actually get a chance to see exactly what happened there. Ninja was not forced to flash or use a summoner spell, so nothing big there. No ganks in the mid lane working just yet. One big difference is you actually saw the double jungling with Salme and Axion together in the jungle for World Elite, whereas Academy just sent Khan to the solo lane, and so he'll actually be really far behind in experience, but he won't have taken that experience away from Soest, who will, at least for the time being, be out-leveling Sin.
Alright, so he will be a little bit behind in experience, but just look at Leona. She was in the top, then went to the bottom, then went back to the top, and she was still level 1. Right now, she did hit this level 2, but it's still a really bad situation to be in.
Yeah, you could really tell World Elite Academy not maximizing the effectiveness, but...
Oh, and the dive is coming.
Yeah, we're going to see this 3-man dive, maybe a little bit ahead of schedule. Nice knock up there, almost kills Conan, but Sin's just going to flash behind there. Oh, Shax actually flashed out of there. He drew turn aggro at the wrong time, so a little bit of a sloppy dive by World Elite, but it is still good enough to give them first blood on to Wei Xiao.
Yeah, and just look at that. Sin used his flash. Wei Xiao used his flash, Conan did too, and then there was the ignite and the heal. They used up pretty much everything in exchange for just Gragas alive. He didn't even burn any single of his summoner spells.
And more importantly, because of that damage that World Elite took, everybody that was down in the bottom lane had to recall back to base. So they're not out on the map. There's no pressure for World Elite right now anywhere. And so we Academy are continuing to zone out Salme from any XP top lane. And they've got the pressure on Dragon, if they want to take that down early on. And just really anywhere they want it.
Yeah, so they did get the first blood, but there's just 100 gold difference, and not even that at some point in time. So, yeah, really, World Elite Academy even coming out on top of this dive in the bottom lane. Even though it was a 1-for-0 in favor of World Elite. So, yeah, this Dragon will most probably go down in the favor of the red team at the moment. But we'll still have to wait for that. And right now, World Elite Academy can try to bring down the top turret.
And they probably will be bringing that one down maybe a little bit ahead of schedule, just because Khan was down in the bottom lane by himself, actually keeping that turret alive, keeping it from dying quite as quickly. Whereas Salme was double jungling, so SMLZ got a lot more turret push going on up there and should be able to put that pressure on, or at least keep it on. But now, Soas knows about this red buff timer. Ninja's going to try to keep him out of there, but Leona's going to come down as well. And in the 2v1, World Elite Academy will be winning out this matchup. I want to see Axine go in here for the smite steal, but there's no ward in there, so a nice steal on the red buff using that 2v1 top lane advantage.
No way to steal it for Sin, but the question is, will he, in exchange, go for the red buff of his enemies?
Well, he's pinging it out right now on the map, but it's down.
But it is not there, yeah.
Keep in mind, this is also the patch before jungle timers. So you have to keep those by yourself, no additional help. And right on time, got the attempt at red buff steal for Axine. World Elite trying to take it back.
It will be an easy one because Soist isn't even paying attention to that. No one is there to try and contest it. So yeah, Sen will get his red buff anyway. So a good attempt from Soist, but he didn't really have his own red buff timed out.
Yeah, exactly. And so just able to go in there for free, basically the exact same thing from both teams. But now this sets up World Elite. There's red buffs on both sides of the map, but there's Dragon on only one side of the map. So World Elite are just like, we can trade red buffs, but you guys can't trade Dragon. And so more than likely than not, World Elite Academy will try to trade Turret for Dragon, but I'm pretty sure Salme is going to be able to wave clear that out, so this should just be some free gold for World Elite. Nice early lead.
May want to dive right there, and he's going in.
Oh, it does look like they will get the knock-up. Salme flashing out, and yeah, you can't outplay the Ignite. He's just going to go down underneath the turret. I believe it was actually Soas that picked up that kill. Yeah, so 1 kill apiece. A nice dive, and that's what they needed to do to take down that turret and to at least even out the Dragon Gold.
And without the turrets, they still almost had the lead right there. 200 gold difference, that was it. So we're elite, really. They are doing everything that they can, and they can't really come out on top.
They can't really come out on top. I think Khan comes out on top most of these games. That's kind of the lane that he plays. But he is down in the bottom lane, at least for now. And he's been zoned out a decent amount. But because he came to lane so much earlier, he actually got a lot more of that CS. And you can see he's already up at level 7. Something that Salme has yet to hit. At least, I think. I can't see that quite. But he's going to be behind just a little bit in XP. One of the big XP differences to talk about are the supports. Conan and UJ actually very, very low in XP as they roamed around the map so heavily. Like you said, UJ was level 1 for the first like 5 minutes of the game.
So that is a big problem for this Leona, and they do need the Solar Flare to come out as quickly as possible to try and go for the early engages when they do have the advantage. Oh, and now they will go for it in the bottom lane.
Yeah, Conan's gonna get flashed on. There's the Zenith Blade right in there, and even though Axine's there, he's there by himself. The teleport's a little bit late, but I think World Elite gonna try to turn this one around. They're gonna get a big stun from Salme on to Soas. The follow-up from the Leaf Strike's good. The standard to jump away, and so it should be able to get out of here safe and sound. Salme wants to go for this dive, but he's very low on mana, so probably not gonna try anything too crazy. 2-2 off of that trade, but I think actually World Elite Academy won out on that because they just traded support. So now, look over the bottom lane. Khan is not where he wants to be. Throws down the slow, and is actually going to... the turret trades aggro somehow onto Wei Zhao. He's not going to go down. The re-engage. Turret's going to dunk down. Is Salme dead here? Yeah, one more auto attack, and the turret takes him down. That's why they call it a cataclysm. It's the end of the world there, at least for Salme.
It is incredible. But yeah, I just wanted to say that a very, very nice EQ coming up from Sois to try and run away from this fight. But then he re-engages. That's the thing we have seen to come out. And that's the thing we have seen to come out from World Elite Academy when Khan just came back into the fight when he stayed alive the previous week and died for nothing. But this time around it worked out. Sois did get the kill in exchange.
Yeah, Sois with a nice outplay. He went in there knowing kind of that he was going to die, but that best case scenario, he gets 2 kills. Worst case, he gets none, but he split evenly there. So at least that was something to look forward to. World Elite Academy, they start out not actually very far behind. And that's the big thing about World Elite Academy and kind of about Young Glory as well, the two LSPL teams. If they crush the early game, if they get that big advantage, they can take down games from some of the best teams, but it's very rarely decided in the early game because a lot of the bottom teams just really have a lot of struggle closing the games out. And against World Elite, a team that knows exactly what to do at all phases of the game, we'll see if World Elite Academy can continue to hang on around the 20 and 30 minute mark.
Nice. So it looks like there is going to be a little bit of a stack in the bottom lane to come out from World Elite Academy.
We're pulling the Fnatic brush down there. World Elite Academy, they know that sooner or later the lane's going to push. I would get up into the second bush, but by hiding so far back, they're trying to outplay any attempt by World Elite to ward that bush out there. And they can see Conan waiting on a ward. Does Weishao know this? There's no possible way they can see this one coming. They do have UJ there. Solar Flare's up. You can throw it down onto Conan.
Getting something. Yep. They do know it is LPL. Name did know.
Oh my gosh. How do they do this every single time? Name did it twice last week. Twice. He just randomly scouted out bushes after acting like they were fine and finds the enemy team waiting there. So brilliant play there by Weishao.
Oh, but we will get to see UJ engaging.
And there he's going to land the combo right on top of the Solar Flare. The Lantern's there, but Weishao just cannot escape in time. SMLZ Sivir takes him down. So finds him in that team fight. Still has yet to win the game. Axine going to jump in on a Mickey God, but he does not want any part of that fight. Doesn't know about the follow-up. Might be waiting
One
there.
has auto attack connecting. That's actually a big thing that I lack in the pro gaming. We do see the last auto attacks always killing your teammate in the solo queue, but in the professional play we don't really get to see the actions like that. The turret always misses. The guy always can't really get to throw out this auto attack, but this time around there was this last auto attack. This one last thing to finish off the kill. Very nice one for World Elite Academy, and just look at the advantage in the turrets that they will bring.
Yeah, Salme's chosen to kind of freeze the turret top lane, but it's all about that blue buff. Axine trying to get in there. Nice steal for Soas, but he still has to survive. Mega Inferno Bomb. Not mega enough. Nice escape there. You really see the mobility out of kind of both teams, but World Elite there, specifically in the jungle and top lane. They have the ability to not only outplay a lot of turret dive situations, haven't seen that just yet, but Soist has been usually using that mobility to get kills onto Salme underneath turret bottom lane, to escape the Mega Inferno Bomb, and steal that blue buff away. So really nice play by Soist, keeping it clean. We're about to see that bottom lane fight once again. The Zenith Blade catches Weishao through his relentless pursuit backwards, and the Solar Flare locks him down so he can't even take the Lantern. And even though he manages to grab the Lantern as soon as humanly possible, still wasn't enough. That last auto attack giving him the kill. Dragon going down there for Conan. I think Conan got it, but either way, World Elite will pick that one up. So 2 for 2 on that global objective, keeping him even there in the gold.
Alright, but still highlighting the support, even if this Zenith Blade and then Solar Flare wasn't enough, it was the Leona's passive that granted the kill right there. The simple auto attack wouldn't have got like 200 of this Lucian's health. Still would have been the Lucian alive, but yeah, the passive coming up from Leona was just enough. And there we go with the fight in the bottom lane.
Yeah, SMLZ is going to take the culling, but a perfect Solar Flare stops the culling and actually turns this damage right back around, attempted to take the Lantern out. Axine's going to make it out alive, but Conan's left by himself, slammed against the wall there. The body slam's good, and the barrels continue to come out. It's huge play there. Khan coming in at exactly the right time. World Elite Academy turns it back around onto WEA and pushes them out of that bottom lane.
Alright, so it's still pretty close in the gold. It's still not the end of the game, but I told you, World Elite Academy, they will have a lot to show. They might not win the games, but they will definitely put up a good fight. And that is the beginning of it all. World Elite Academy just looking so good in the bottom lane, 2 times in a row already.
And in that respect, World Elite Academy are kind of like the complexity of the Chinese scene, because even though they may be at the bottom of the standings, they are so aggressive at all points during the game, and they play great games with the exception of some late game team fighting issues there. Oh, Axine gonna get knocked up there. Death Sentence is coming in there. Conan's in there, but oh, SMLZ is too low to fight this. Wei Zhao flashes on him. He's gonna take him down. And there's actually Sois gonna be forced out of this fight if he can escape. One more auto attack or the leap strike. Salme is there to take him down. Now Yujie is gonna try to turn this fight back around onto Axine. Gets the shield out there. Last auto attack, the flash, and Yujie takes him out. Of course, he's gonna die pretty badly soon thereafter. But it's at least one kill. And in the end, it is a 1-for-3 in favor of World Elite.
Yeah, it's good that UJ did get a little bit of goal right there, but there was no assist on that. So it was not really worth it so much. But still, just look at the AD carry of World Elite. Wei Xiao sitting on 5-1-2. That is the thing that I was worried already when I saw him 3-0-1. Right now, he's getting even stronger and stronger. And that might be the problem with this Sivir being kind of a questionable pick.
Yeah, it's a little bit iffy. Of course, keep in mind, SMLZ, that one death on Wei Zhao, it came because SMLZ killed him. Now, granted, he had two other champions helping him do that, but hey, still a moral victory, if not an actual one. But both AD carries doing the best on their team. The only problem is, like, when Wei Zhao gets fed, he gets pentakills. When SMLZ gets fed, World Elite Academy kind of throw the game around the 20 to 30 minute mark. So we'll see if World Elite Academy can keep consistent as the game progresses.
And steer away from the Baron. That is the most important thing for them because, well, you can't really go for a questionable Baron with such an experienced team playing against you. And Sin is just such a strong jungler. He has shown a lot of good performances in the LPL already. So stealing another Baron will not really be a problem for him. And yeah, the gold is still so close. Even though World Elite didn't even get a single turret for themselves as of yet.
Yeah, World Elite are behind on the turret game, but they're up on Dragons, so the gold's even. But the pressure out on the map may actually be a little bit in favor of World Elite Academy. And one of the things that you're starting to see is that World Elite, we are just trying to use their stronger champions to sort of function as turrets and keep that pressure out there on the map. Whereas World Elite Academy, they've crushed down some early turrets, but now they actually have to fight World Elite to take down the rest of them. Or just out-rotate them, and we'll see if they can get that positional advantage that they will need to keep taking these turrets down.
So still we'll see. I'm still waiting for some kind of a really big fight that we didn't get to see as of yet. Because that should be a little bit of an advantage for World Elite Academy. Of course, in my opinion, it's just me. With the Solar Flare, with the Sivir pick, that really might be a good fight for them. They just get to pull off all of their abilities just right.
All right, well, two things to talk about as we sort of get into this, and I want to get your opinion on this too. So, World Elite, they've taken down dragon after dragon after dragon. It's 50 seconds until the next dragon comes up. Is this something that World Elite Academy want to go for, or do you think they're more about taking down early turrets like they've been doing so far?
World Elite Academy will want to get this dragon. That's like 100% confirmed. They have been pinging on this dragon like mad for the previous 15 seconds, clearing out the vision, putting up their own wards. They will want to go for it finally. They do want to get the advantage over World Elite, and that is the right thing to do. If they finally go ahead and gold, it might be quite enough to get the domination.
Well, two big things to talk about going into this. We were talking about highlighting... Oh, bombs coming out, but nobody getting caught just yet. Talking about highlighting the bottom lane, but honestly, if you want to highlight the mids, they're both going to have kind of the same function here. Oh, Axine looking to go in there. We'll jump in onto Soas. He's going to jump out immediately, but UJ is actually the one kind of standing still. I think he got hit by a bolo there at the very end, but the giant growth is going to keep him alive. Wild growth, apologies there, but Soas... all he did that fight was run, and it's actually SMLZ going for the re-engage along with Soas, but baiting him back in there. Khan is there, but he's full health, and he's going to be so huge in the front there. Oh, Mickey gotta get out of the flash out, but he gets grabbed there. Death sentence. Gonna kill him off, but the re-engage is just one champion after another. Everybody's gonna die here. Wei Xiao trying to kite backwards. He gets one, he gets two. The barrel's gonna explode and take him down though. And in the 1v1 there, Khan very, very low on health, trying to kite away from Ninja. Bouncing bombs coming out. Barrels over the wall. He flashes the barrel. Ninja gets the outplay. Can't find that one. It's a full 5-man ace for World Elite, but it is 5 for 4, so very, very even fight.
It was such a close fight, and Khan was still full health for the whole time of it all. It actually began with UJ getting caught, so World Elite Academy turning it around so much was still a very good thing. And yep, UJ just baited out Wei Xiao and Xiaomei to deal pretty much all of the damage that they had on him.
You want to talk about baits? Soist baited twice there. He used his standard to allow him to go in very, very aggressively, get caught out, and then use that standard combo to jump away. And we're going to see a replay right here. Death Sentence misses, but it's the huge engage by Xiaomei. And watch SMLZ in this fight. Nobody's focusing him at all. Mega Inferno Bomb does almost no damage. Yuji kites that out immaculately, like you said. And the re-engage here from Soist so good because it allows Khan to come in. And Khan's got a ton of hit points. Nobody wants to focus him down there while the rest of World Elite Academy are dishing out all their damage. But SMLZ got hit by a bomb there. Mickey gets hooked, and this is where the fight turns bad for World Elite Academy. SMLZ flashes that bomb coming in there, but he can't get back into the fight. Now, Soist is slow. But look at Wei Xiao. He's just like, I know what my passive does. It attacks two things at once, and that's exactly what he did right there. Grabs 2 kills before he goes down, and of course, you know how the fight finishes off there. 4 on 5, 4 for 5. About the most even fight you could get under the circumstances, and actually a pretty good one. World Elite Academy played it well early on, but wound up giving away a bunch of kills there at the end.
Yeah, but the Dragon still goes in favor of World Elite, so World Elite Academy can't really pull it off as of yet. But yeah, UJ just baited out everything from Lucian, including the calling, and then everything from Jax, including the Blade of the Ruined King and the Leap. So they couldn't really go into the fight. It could have been a little bit better for World Elite, but it still could have been a little bit better for World Elite Academy if not the hook that barely hit Mickey God, even with the flash.
That hook was pretty monstrous. Now, to clarify, Conan actually did miss 2 hooks at the beginning of that, so it's not like he's 100%, but he hit the one that counted there at the very end, and grabbing Mickey God. And on Lulu, a champion that's so mobile, the ability to lock her down, to have a support that can take that mobility away, that's a huge asset to World Elite. Just to force WEA Academy to fight them. So
yeah, definitely. And it's not like everyone is getting something. It's just 8-2-4 Wei Xiao, but it's still a big thing. But Soist looks like he'll get caught.
Oh, he got stunned out there by the bola. Second time in a row Sins made that happen. Soist will make it out alive. You'll notice World Elite very, very hesitant to overcommit. If they just barely don't kill somebody, they're fine with them because it still takes the champion off the map.
Yeah, but it's still 12-10. No kill going down. World Elite Academy still dragonless. And they will want to get it the next time it comes to that. But, well, it's getting really late. The next dragon will be coming around the 30 minutes mark. And there will be the Baron focus.
To be honest, this looks a lot closer than the way I expected to. Like, Wei Xiao is a monster. Like, no 2 champions can kill Wei Xiao right now. So he's like so far ahead of the curve. He's also going a little bit of a weird Lucian build. You traditionally see like the Ghost Blade, Blade of the Ruined King, like the double blade build. But he built standard AD carry even with the Infinity Edge. So a little bit different, but very standard, very far ahead, and those are the items that'll make him strongest. In now that he is so far ahead.
All right, so the game continues, and it's still kind of passive. There was one big fight, but it didn't satisfy me. It was a 5-4. I do want to see one of the teams dominate finally. Looking so even, and well, it's the best thing that we could get for a World Elite versus World Elite fight.
Yeah, exactly. And to be honest, I expected, like, the commentators all picked 2-0 stomps for World Elite, but this is not looking like much of a stomp. As fed as Wei Zhao is, he is literally the only person on his team that's doing well. In the top lane, Jax is splitting even versus Gragas, which I guess is good for Jax later on, but it still means that Khan's Gragas is a monster. And look at his items. He stacked up double armor items, the Randuin's and Fist of the North Star, but that means that Wei Zhao still has a lot to worry about because I don't think he can kill Gragas. I don't think he can kill Soist, who's about almost to his Randuin's, and has those Ninja Tabby up there. So it's really going to be on Wei Zhao. Can he make it to the back line? Keep in mind this is 4.10 Lucian, so he's still... he has a longer cooldown that's not reset on his Relentless Pursuit, and there's... attempted engage. Yujie trying to go in. The Solar Flare's down on a Ninja. Lockdown's there as well. Conan's gonna get hit up there. Conan might actually die before the fight even starts, and he's down before anybody else can say anything about it. World Elite Academy putting the go button down. They're gonna find a kill.
And that's really good, but Wei Zhao is out of position right now. You will get caught.
Oh, he's after the entire game. I just got done talking about how World Elite don't overcommit, and that's exactly what they did right there. Now Ninja's gonna get jumped on, and off of almost only Wei Zhao getting caught out there. Oh, Sin's on the wrong side of the map there. Barrel's gonna slow him down. So is looking for the knockup. The explosive cask flashed away from. Sin takes the rocket jump out of that one. He's gonna get away in a hurry.
Unfortunately, but Soist will try to chase for Sin, and he will get the EQ.
Yeah, Sin though still very strong, but he's got backup against him. Barrel's gonna slow him down there, and a nice chase from Soist. Keep in mind, Soist came on to World Elite Academy as the best jungler in the sort of Chinese challenger scene. Like, he had a lot of hype behind him, and it's paying off to here.
And wait a second, right here. Tame will try to go into the pit and try and steal the Baron, but will be a bad decision.
Yeah, he is definitely not making it out of here alive. He is dishing out a lot of damage, but just look at the smite. No contesting there from Soist, and as soon as Salme goes down, Conan's gonna fall next, and World Elite Academy, they explode with a huge team fight, 2 big picks. Now they kill off 3 more champions, or 2 more champions, and they get the Barons, so... Talked about how that Baron was going to be huge. World Elite Academy come out with a major advantage.
SMLZ will not have the buff though, so that hurts World Elite Academy by a little bit. But the thing that I want to point out, Sin, he had his ultimate on and he went to kill the support only with a very big risk of dying. And you give away the Baron for just a kill on the support, that just simply doesn't make sense to me.
But this is the scary thing about World Elite. Like, they always know what to do. So, Wei Zhao and Ninja were able to push down the mid lane. They took a mid lane turret. They took a dragon. So that's 2 big global objectives. It's a ton of extra gold. I think that's actually as much gold as Baron right now. So, they're keeping it even. And if you look at the gold count, even with the Baron buff, World Elite are still in the lead. So... Man, these guys just do not give up without a fight. Just hanging on till the very end.
But you still have to deal with the Baron up team, and World Elite Academy will be taking the turrets with themselves. Look at that, the middle lane will get a little bit of a siege in just a second. I'm just waiting for the minions to come. But with Ziggs, it's kind of tough. So, well, World Elite might really have a plan with giving away this Baron for free.
Well, Baron, you traditionally use it to push. World Elite Academy do not have a very good pushing team. Like, Sivir is a horrible AD carry to have when you want to siege turrets. She has a very short auto attack range, and she doesn't have any mobility spells other than her ult. So, has to be very, very careful. Khan can afford to take up some turrets. Oh, Wei Zhao, though, gets hit by a huge crit, and Khan dishing out most of that damage. So, whew, have to play this one very carefully. He'll be looking for something to lifesteal off of, probably at Wolf Camp. World Elite Academy still need to get this push on.
Yeah, talking about this bad pushing team, to be honest, you just have Lulu with the range attack because you don't want to get SMLZ into the front lines, which is kind of tough. Exactly as you say, they need to win a fight and then maybe try to go for the pushes, so they can't really pull it off without that, without getting any kills.
I feel like World Elite are just putting their faith in the clock right now, saying, look, we've got a Fed AD carry who can carry us through for a little bit longer. Ziggs can just wave clear and just wait for Salme to become a monster. Because while he hasn't been doing great in lane, he's died 4 times. He has 200 CS and he's got 3 kills, so he's got the gold for his double offensive items. If he can stack up some defense, he will be a monster. And as the game progresses, there's nobody that's going to be able to split push against either Salme or Wei Zhao.
Yeah, definitely. So that's the point in World Elite Academy. As we said, they can't really push without getting the kills. And on the hunt coming out, they will try to look for some
World
fight.
Elite Academy looking for Salme. They're chasing him the other direction. He's going to go back in for the fight, but it's 5 champions there, man. You're not going to make it out of here. Leaf strikes away to a warp. MLZ.
Yeah, as MLZ, he lost the Baron to this Jax exactly, and now he gets the revenge. They will get the turret, as you said. Actually, no, they might want to look for a fight right here.
Yeah, they're going to go for the dive. No questions asked. They got the Baron buff, and Ninja is going to disappear. Just like he would there. The Cullen coming in from the side there. Wei Xiao's huge, but Khan just face tanks it all. He's got so much armor. World Elite Academy is just going to turn around for the turret, and that's 2 turrets probably coming their way as they look to push into the base.
You know, the Demacian stun that is there too, so they will get the additional bit of damage. And the inhibitor is going down, but actually there will be the engage on Wei Xiao in just a second.
Yeah, Wei Zhao was Wei Zhao out of position there. He's going to throw down the heal and actually turn the damage back around, taking out Salme. And is this World Elite? I can't tell who has the advantage here. Wei Zhao got a nice kill, but I don't think he's going to be able to accomplish a whole lot out of that. Didn't save the inhibitor. Was just able to push World Elite Academy out of base.
Sin almost went down right there, and look at that. Sin forced out of his own base, running around the map right now.
Not sure what his plan is. I think he just wants to take top turret while the rest of World Elite Academy are backing, spending all their gold they got off that push. But that's mission accomplished for World Elite Academy. They just needed an inhibitor. Because you can trade like inhib for Baron, like they're relatively even. But the reason you take Baron is so that you can go for these pushes. Oh, SMLZ versus Wei Xiao, no questions asked. This another overextension by Wei Xiao. He wanted the 1v1. World Elite Academy not playing fair. Teleport down there, keeping the cannon minion alive for a second. Not sure that was the best use of TP by Khan, but it got him back in the fight, and it's a turret down.
I expected him to use the teleport in the top to try and defend this turret against Rengar, but no, he will just teleport to the middle lane. They will get more and more for themselves. With this Wei Xiao being down, this is just such a good fight for them. They can do whatever they want. And this Jax isn't simply as strong as he is supposed to be as of yet.
Exactly. Like, if Salme had, like, 2 less deaths right now, he'd be in a great position. But the fact that he's been prevented from just AFK farming by being killed, being caught out so many times, that's just a credit to World Elite Academy. They're stopping the split push. They're pressuring the side lanes, putting Salme so far behind, and picking him off and going for objectives off the back of that. World Elite Academy, they are looking so good, but they haven't won the game yet. And in the immortal words of Skara, they're winning until they lose. So we'll have to see if World Elite Academy can find a way to close out this game, because that's sort of like the big challenge ahead of them.
And yep, World Elite Academy, well, it seemed like World Elite really did have a plan. But World Elite Academy just destroying this plan with a single sweep of a hand, and nope, we do want to be the better one. And actually, we had a lot of speculations about World Elite Academy coming into this season, coming into this split actually, when they qualified for LPL, and a lot of people were saying like, okay, World Elite Academy might actually be better than World Elite and finish as a top team in the LPL. No one believed them back then, and World Elite Academy just looked so bad. But right now, showing such a strong performance, they might actually finally be the better team.
Well, World Elite, like, it doesn't matter if your AD carry is like 25-2. if he just dives into the middle of the enemy team and suicides every time. And that's like twice this game that Wei Zhao is gone for the 1v1, and all of a sudden more champions show up. World Elite Academy playing a very sort of save the dude kind of style. It's like one guy gets caught out, and you've got Lulu Wild Growth. You've got Soas to come in there. You've got Khan to ult and keep you safe. There's just so much to save either SMLZ or anybody that gets caught out. So if you go in for a fight, you better have the follow-up to finish it.
We do have the Dragon and the Baron up, so World Elite Academy will once again be looking for the bigger one, of course. Will they get to pull it off? They need to look for a pick. They can't really go for a 5v5 right here.
WEA Academy, Barons are where games are won and lost. They took the first Baron of the game for free, no questions asked, but something tells me this time around might be a little bit more difficult. Wards in the pit, being teleported to. World Elite Academy will disengage. They're out of the pit. Salmei is going to jump out the other way. Sin's going to start this one out. Soas gets stunned out. There's a little bit of lag there as Mickey God gets chunked out in the back. Sin's going to get blown up there, but it takes the entire team to kill him. As he goes down, he's going to revive there. The Guardian Angel popped. No Glitter Lance, no Death Sentence. It gets spell shielded by SMLZ. Man, that was a huge spell shield. Holy cow. If you had to spell shield like one spell, that was the one to do it. So, oh, Khan gets pulled in over the wall there. Is there enough damage? I don't think so. But the Baron's going to finish him off there. SMLZ micros backwards, takes that Baron damage, and saves Khan's life.
And wow, why did he really do that? The 1 health ward, did he really want to just take it? There are some minions in the bottom lane. They will not be able to take down the inhibitor, but Khan going for such a risky play. That would have been the Baron for World Elite if he gone down.
And honestly, World Elite could have pressured Baron right there. Said, hey, you guys are all low. We can just Baron right now. But didn't go for it. More concerned with just drawing this game out. Because honestly, if neither team does anything, in 20 minutes, World Elite's just going to win the game off of scaling. And, you know, decision making and team fighting and cool stuff like that. So, World Elite Academy, they gotta do something, man. They did a great job catching out Salmei and pushing in for inhib, but that inhib's back up. We'll see if they hit the go button after they clear out this wave.
They really do want to go for this inhibitor, and most probably they will get it. That's how I'll see right now. He does have the spell shield and the Banshee's Veil. Not a lot of protection for the hooks, because once they got caught so badly that they lost the fight, they don't want to make that happen again.
This is not going to be a good fight for World Elite Academy. World Elite Academy want to start far away and then use their move speed advantage to move faster than World Elite, catch them out of position, and then find picks onto them. In the siege situation, World Elite are just so much better. They've got zigs for wave clear. They've got pick potential off of bombs, off of mostly just Conan's thresh hooks, which have been a little bit hit or miss, but have been working out very, very well for the most part. That's why you see SMLZ up in the front, because he has the spell shield.
Right now his Banshee's Veil got popped, but he still does have the spell shield. And World Elite Academy on the run. And still the Baron. Not a lot of vision around it. Not a lot of focus as of yet. After that fight happened.
Oh, man. I gotta highlight this anytime two Chinese teams with Korean players play. Mid lane and then top and jungle are the difference. Of course, he renamed himself to Khan, but Hanbalong was the other Korean player that came in. I think he was formerly on one of the Prime teams. He is actually holding his own in lane, actually now way ahead of Salmei, who is, like I said, one of the best top laners in China. Mostly that's off of the teamwork that World Elite Academy has been kind of showcasing here. But he's done very, very well. Keep in mind, he started out with a much, much rougher start. He didn't get to double jungle. He had a 1v2 during the beginning of the game. And just as that illustrates that it's not how you start the game, it's how you finish it, World Elite Academy as a team still have to finish this game. They have not been able to close things out by any means.
Yeah, so if they begin to struggle to close out the games, once again, World Elite might use it, but they will get the Baron right here.
Yeah, this is going to be free Baron. The recall there from
Sin is in the middle of the pit.
From Rengar. Oh my gosh, they're gonna go in for this, and no, the Baron goes down, but so close. Like if you watch the smite damage, it came down there just at the last second. It was a worthy attempt, but Sin was, or Axine rather, not quite able to go for it. He bought a Warmog's armor right before that fight, and he's like the tankiest member of the entire team. Dove in there, survived as long as he could, but there's just too much damage. And off of his death and the Baron buff now on World Elite Academy again, they could just walk underneath the turret and win this game.
Just look at how afraid of SMLZ they are. There is a Thornmail and a Warmogs on Sin. Why does he go for this Thornmail right now if there is a Lulu and the Gragas on the enemy team?
The double AP comp is not something you buy Thornmail into. The culling coming out, not gonna find Khan, but it does clear the wave. And it's 4v5. There's a Baron buff on World Elite Academy, and World Elite is still pushing them out of the base. So that should go to show you, like, maybe the respect between both teams, but maybe also an indication of World Elite Academy's lack of knowledge on how to push these advantages and close out the game.
Yeah, that is the big problem. They might have got another Baron, but they still can't really close out the game. They didn't even get the inhibitor down, so they don't really have a big advantage, and they still can't push the turrets.
World Elite Academy, they have basically every advantage they could hope for. They're ahead in every single lane. Every champion on World Elite Academy can win a 1v1 versus the WEA roster's counterpart, but are they gonna go for it? Solar Flare hits the slow, still out there. Neither the hook or the Zenith Blade doesn't land there. No catch on the Salme, and this time he makes it out alive. That's Sivir ult down, it's Leona ult down, it's
Leona Flash.
Yeah, Leona Flash, everything. They threw the kitchen sink at Salme, but were unable to find a pick, so he learned his lesson and got out alive that time.
That was such a waste right there, and World Elite Academy still didn't get a pick, still can't really bring the turret down. They will be struggling so much.
Oh my gosh. Alright, well, two things you gotta look out for right now are how weak WEA Academy are at sieging turrets and how strong Conan is gonna be. I think Conan wins this game for World Elite off of a hook if he's able to land it. Either that or World Elite Academy realize that they can dive the turret whenever they want to, and just man up on the next wave.
Okay, actually coming to think about this, Thornmail, is it like the next level thinking? Because if SMLZ uses the Ricochet in the teamfight, he will still get the damage.
WEA Academy just rotated on World Elite so hard right there. They're just like, or we could walk mid lane. Put some damage down on that turret. Now, base turrets do heal themselves, so you still have to keep that pressure up, but WEA Academy, they're just desperately trying to make anything work. Top lane, mid lane, top lane, mid lane. They're switching back and forth. Still haven't taken a turret off of this Baron buff, and Baron's gonna be off of them in a couple seconds, so it's almost done. They will finally find that second tier top lane turret, but that's only because they zoned out World Elite from behind the turret, and that's not something they can do for the base.
Yeah, pretty much. Actually, with Sin just roaming around the map, and he gets a little bit of damage inside of the base, they actually might, but yeah, that's not the thing that's gonna happen. The Dragon is gonna go down in favor of World Elite Academy, as that is where they are headed at the moment, but they need to get the base. If they just prolong the game so much, this Jax is gonna get stronger and stronger, and that is their problem with closing the games out. They will just get it longer, and it doesn't work in their favor.
Yeah, at this point, World Elite Academy, like, they're fighting minions. It's PvE for World Elite. They can do whatever they want out there on the map. World Elite Academy, they backed off because they forgot to set the bottom lane pushing and either freeze it or get it in a good position so that they could, you know, rotate bottom lane. So they only had the mid and top to go for, and I'm not sure what I'm watching right now because World Elite are now counter jungling WEA Academy. They stole their blue buff and now they're gonna kill somebody. Like, this is horrible for WEA Academy. Somebody's checking this blue buff, I can promise you that.
Oh, what the...
Sois finds it
Sois.
out there. He is not where he needs to be. Immediate teleport. There's the solar flare. Sois dies there, so it's a 4v5 fight. And even while people are kind of teleporting around the screen, that's going to be Wei Xiao who's dead. Sois as well, so it's a 1-for-1 so far. And World Elite Academy might actually win this fight, but oh, look at the Ziggs damage. Ninjas just got way too much to deal with. And World Elite Academy, they lose that fight just off of Ziggs. Like, Ninja carried that fight so hard. But you gotta give World Elite Academy credit for checking that out. Oh, now Conan's gonna die here to Mickey God, but Mickey God's the only one left alive. He's gonna have to defend this top lane turret versus 3 members of World Elite.
Alright, I wanted World Elite Academy to win this so badly, but after the thing that I have seen in this fight, I have no mercy for them. I mean, have you seen SMLZ in this fight?
No.
Where he was
kinda
standing, he was in such a bad position. Then he got jumped on by Jax. Then he got damaged on by Ninja. It is just incredible. He was standing in a very, very wrong place.
Yeah, exactly. He actually
No
did spell
defense.
shield the stun from Salme's Jax, but Salme just borked him right after, so he couldn't run away. It's a perfect bait there by World Elite. They know exactly what to do. Like, I actually thought it was a good rotational play by World Elite Academy to put pressure on top and mid, then back for the dragon and push out their bottom lane. Like, they made a good rotational call, but the problem is that took all their pressure off the map and let WE make a huge pick like that. And now you can see WE Academy are not going to let that happen again. They got pink wards out there, but as professional players are wont to do, they somehow forego clearing the pink ward at the blue buff. So I don't know how 5 champions can walk over 1 pink ward and leave it up, but WE Academy making the impossible possible.
Alright, so with SMLZ being the apprentice of Wei Xiao and Wei Xiao getting caught so much, right now SMLZ has to go for the bad positioning himself.
Lantern
World
out,
Academy.
catch on to Salme, but he is super tanky. There's UJ getting pulled way into the team. He doesn't even have time to do anything about it. He is finally going to go down to the Mega Inferno Bomb there. Conan's very, very low as well, but it's just WE Academy dropping like flies. Salme, nobody's touched this guy. And Khan is now going to go down. It's a 5-for-0. Conan didn't die in that. I checked for the Guardian Angel right during that fight, and he didn't have one, but he's definitely got one watching over him. Doesn't die, and it's a full 5-for-0. World Elite Academy, that one fight loses them the game. I feel like I've seen this in almost every single game that they play. It's play a great early game, win until 25 minutes, and it's one fight, one and done. World Elite will close out game 1.
I just will not forgive the bad positioning of SMLZ. It's just a thing that shouldn't ever happen. You are a professional AD carry and you're in the middle of the fight alone with no defense at all. And how did he even get there? That is the question.
Well, he got there because he went in expecting to do damage, kind of like Wei Xiao did for the first 20 minutes of the game, like jumping in expecting to kill people. Wei Xiao learned his lesson. He was towards the back for that entire fight. And just better kiting, better tanky front lines, and the pick onto Sois to really start that one out. So that's going to be game 1 going in favor of World Elite. So currently caster predictions, they're right on track to a 2-0, which is what everybody did predict. So we're going to take a quick little break here in between game 1 and 2. So enjoy some awesome commercials, and we'll be right back. Game number 2 as World Elite Academy try to bring this series back versus their sister team, World Elite. So don't go anywhere. This is the LPL broadcast in English on Twitch TV. Of course, brought to you in part by Gosu Gamers and Games in Asia. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with game 2.
青训的前期是只有轮子妈一个人有伤害，没有，我相信一路一定也在说这个事儿，就是因为酒桶，
别忘了拦酒桶。
对，酒桶前期毫无伤害，然后露露也不是伤害。